welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to explain the difference between matcha bowls and what you can make matcha in if you don't have a bowl, specifically for matcha, and how you want to decide and why there's different ones as well. You can decide yourself what's the main reason why you want a certain type of matcha bowl in this video. So what I'm going to start out with is the things you can use instead of a bowl specifically for matcha. So I have a mug here. This is just a big mug. It's quite big, but it's one of the common mugs I have in my house. So this mug is perfectly okay to make matcha in. It is kind of hard to make matcha in compared to a matcha bowl, but it is doable and it is easy to do. It is easier to do as well instead of going out and buying an entire set for matcha. If you do not want to spend time or the effort or any money to do that, you can just use a mug. And another thing you can use instead of going out and buying an entire set or a matcha bowl is a common house bowl. So this is my dishware that I use every day for food. You can also use this for matcha. It is a little bit bigger than a matcha bowl would be, but it's perfectly fine to be using for matcha. You can use whatever you can find that would hold water in, so you can be using a jar or anything like that, a plate with a little divot in it, anything like that you can use to make matcha. Another thing is a good option for a cheaper option to make matcha in as well, and it's a little bit more if you're just a novice and you're a beginner and you're trying to learn more about matcha and you don't want to waste a lot of money on something that you're trying to learn about. Amazon has very good options, and this is one of Amazon's options, and it's a very nice matcha bowl. It also comes with a matcha whisk and a matcha scoop. So I'm actually going to explain now that I'm out of the stuff that's not matcha bowls. Matcha bowl in Japanese, it's chawan. So as a chawan, this what you would get common for a cheaper price on Amazon. I think this one was $30 to $20, and then it came with a cheaper Tresson, which is a matcha whisk, and Tresson, which is a matcha scoop, and all of those are, I still use them till this day until I lost my Tresson scoop. But this matcha bowl is quite nice. It's small and it's good nice. It has kind of character because it's like kind of wavy on the edges as well. The walls are kind of up high, so I would qualify this as a winter bowl. So there's different, as of clothes in Japan, there's different seasons for matcha bowls. So the matcha history of the matcha bowl goes back centuries, and I can go through history for so long on this subject. But the reason why there's different matcha bowls for each season and different styles and all of that stuff is because of the tea ceremonies in Japan and what the area and the tea schools prefer, and what they require when they are doing their tea ceremonies. So in the winter times, they like higher wall bowls because it will keep the drink inside much warmer than the summer bowls I will show you in a little bit. And so this one's really thick and really sturdy, and it will keep that matcha inside very warm for in the winter months. And this is a cheaper option. I'll try to link it down below as well. I think prices may have gone up since I bought this one. I actually got it for my birthday a few years ago, so this was my first matcha bowl, and it has lasted for a long time. Now let's go on to other things that I have bought for matcha bowls that aren't matcha bowls, but I bought them as matcha bowls. So I also bought this as a matcha bowl. This is from a local potter who's an older woman who just loves to do pottery, and every year her church has a garage sale, and every year she sells all of her pottery she made that year. And this was one of the potteries she made that year, and I spent $1.50 on this. This was so cheap and so beautiful, handcrafted, one of a kind piece that I spent $1 on. This is such a nice size. It's a bigger matcha bowl, so I like to use this when I'm making not just me some matcha, but other people as well. It doesn't keep the heat in very well. It's not very heatable, so I do suggest using colder water in this bowl. But again, another option is to go to a local garage sale, potter, anything, and just get a nice bowl that has good sides as well, and it's very nice. This would be a winter bowl as well. Another option that I got, now we're going to the actual matcha bowls that I bought. One of these is not a matcha bowl again, but I bought it for a summer bowl, which is this one right here. So this one, summer bowls would be shorter sides to make sure there's more air so it cools down the matcha more because it's summer and it's hot. This is actually from a very amazing brand that's been around pottery, that's been around since the 1600s, and it's beautiful. I love this. I bought it in Uji, Japan. I'll put the name right here and you can go check it out if you ever go to Japan. But this is my summer bowl. Again, it has shorter things. Let me get a winter bowl. The difference between these two, as you can see, they're also different styles. This is very smooth, this is different ridges, but yeah. So this one is a summer bowl and this one's a winter bowl. Now this one I'm gonna also talk about, and this one's a very traditional Japanese matcha bowl for tea ceremonies. In Kyoto, there's a school that really loves this type of bowl, and this bowl people will make for Kyoto's tea ceremonies. So I bought this in Nara, Japan. Let me see. And it has a beautiful flower and design. Also has design in the middle, another thing for the matcha ceremony. But this one is beautiful and I really love it. I got this in a little store that didn't sell teaware, but it sold vintage stuff. I got this and a bracelet there. It was so nice. But this one is it's a winter bowl, has higher. I would say this since Japan this tea school does use the patterns and different patterns for different seasons. So since this one is very spring season that has certain flowers that bloom in certain seasons, this one has a spring flower. I would say that they would use this in the springtime, which is still a little cold. With that said, this is a thinner bowl as well, so it doesn't keep the heat in that long, but it does keep the heat in longer than this one would because of the walls. But this is another beautiful thing. If you do want to have one like this, I'll put up what it's called right here and you can look it up. And that's what the wording you need to look up. I'll try to link another one that's like this down below as well. Now last but not least, I have this bowl, and this bowl is beautiful, and I'm just showing you that you can also buy a bowl just for a color as well. And I got this bowl from a beautiful pottery festival in Japan, and it was beautiful and you use a black bowl. The matcha stands out amazingly well, so it's very beautiful. This one is a lot smaller and it's kind of difficult for me to whisk in, but beauty is pain, as a lot of people say, but this was very difficult to whisk in. I don't use it as much, but if I'm taking an Instagram photo or using it, I'm definitely going to be using it. I haven't been really on that matcha kick right now, so I haven't really used this one. I've used it once or twice, but not that many times. But it's beautiful and I love it so much just because of the color, so you can definitely get one just for the color. It's also smaller, then I would use, let's see, like that. So this one has more openings, so I would use it as a summer, winter. I would use these all year round. It depends on what I want to use them for, but this one's mainly for photos. But it's so beautiful. So that is all that I have. Those are all of the matcha bowls that I own, and there's so many for someone who is one person who drinks matcha, but someday I hope to share it with everyone as well. My big giant teaware collection is definitely not like someone's normal collection. I have so many teaware. As you can see behind me, that's all teaware. That's all the pots I got in Japan, and there's some I collected from garage sales. I also have 4 boxes in storage full of teaware, which is crazy, but someday I will share it with everyone. The chawan was actually originated from China, but since also matcha was originated from China, Japan kind of adopted it and created their own culture and their own ceremony behind it as well. So with these bowls, there's a lot of different variety and a lot of different ones you can find for yourself. A little bit more about the history and stuff is amazing as well, and the different potters who made these bowls and companies, they all try to honor the history behind it as well, which is amazing, and it's really fascinating, and I love supporting people who try to honor that as well. With the bowls, they've kind of adopted from China and to use the bowls for their matcha. And again, matcha is a ground tea, and that's its own history. I may post a video about the history behind matcha, but this bowls are used differently in different parts of Japan, and there's different tea ceremony schools which will show you different ways to perform tea ceremonies and different bowls to use and different things to use all the time. So it's constantly different from one part of Japan to the next, to one tea house to the next, could be completely different. So me saying that these are used at these specific times, it could be different for each and every single part of Japan in different schools and everything. So with that being said, I hope this helps you a little bit more understand a little bit more about the difference between these and how to choose them. Honestly, if I was just starting out, I would just go back and get the one I did start out with. If you would rather buy a nicer chasen, which is matcha whisk, and just go and buy and just have a bowl, that's fine too. Honestly, if you just want to use a mug, that's fine. Electric whisk, that's fine too. If you enjoy the tea you are making, then it's perfectly fine of what you're making it in. I will say my favorite bowl would be to look at would be this one because it's so beautiful. Let me just show you again. But I did buy these because of their beauty, but also because of their function. And I also was in Japan on a tea internship, so buying them would be beautiful. Like, I bought this one thinking that it would be amazing to whisk, but when I tried it, it's actually kind of difficult to whisk in. So it's now just there for beauty, and there's honestly, even I had this for beauty, I would still make matcha in it, still have the struggles of making matcha in it just to see the beautiful matcha with the black. And that's something that I'm doing because I would say I am a tea lover, tea expert. I know how to do tea, and if you're a beginner and you're not used to these things, you need to not get discouraged because something's hard. So choosing the right matcha bowl is not that hard. You just need to figure out what works for you and what you will enjoy in the long run. So if it is just using a mug and electric whisk, that is perfectly fine. If it is using an entire matcha set and doing a ceremony of your own, that's perfectly fine too. And if it is using a bowl that's in the summer, in the winter, that's fine. A bowl in the winter bowl in the summer, that's perfectly fine as well. These are just suggestions from years of tea ceremonies, and not every single person who's making matcha is in a tea ceremony. So when I say that this is a summer bowl, yes, they use it mainly in the summertime, but that doesn't mean that you have to. It will make it a little bit more cold, but maybe you like iced drinks, maybe you like colder drinks. And most of the time, a lot of you who are watching this video, I know a lot of people now who are drinking matcha are actually drinking matcha lattes. So with that being said, you may not think you can drink out of this, but you can. A little tip would be make a matcha paste. So put your matcha in and then make drip some water in, enough to make a paste. Cold water or lukewarm, whatever, warm water, anything in there, just not hot water. And then you'll make a paste and then put milk in, your hot milk, your cold milk, whatever, and then whisk it. I say electric whisk is better for that method, but a lot of people you do drink out of the bowl. I drink out of the bowl, but I know my brother doesn't like drinking out of the bowl, so he'll make me pour it in a mug. So if you do it in the mug, it would take that step less as well. So tea's freedom, you can do whatever you want. This is just a helpful suggestion. If you have any more questions about how to make matcha in these and the difference between the matcha I make in the summer and winter, I will show you that 100%. Comment down below all your questions, comments, concerns, and I'll try to answer everything. If you have any suggestions on matcha bowls as well, please comment them down below. Any place to buy them for all those people who are in the market for a new matcha bowl or even just their first matcha bowl. I know that a lot of tea enthusiasts have a million bowls. As you know, I have 5 matcha bowls and a million more teaware things. But a lot of you probably have a single bowl or a teacup that you enjoy using, and that's the extent of what you have, and that's completely fine. I have multiple bowls. You do not need to have multiple bowls to enjoy matcha every day. I do because I'm a tea nerd. I love tea and the different things of tea, and one day I want to own a tea shop, so I want to have enough things so I can use in that tea shop as well. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something. I hope it helps you pick out your perfect matcha bowl, and I hope you have a great day. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Please comment down below what you want me to do, if any have questions, comments, and concerns. And thank you, and have a great day.